Sign up for the Righteous Hair course and get all of the tips and secrets and hacks to righteous hair, whether you have knotted locks, sister locks, small locks, or any other type of lock. Welcome to Tanesia's Locks Beauty Tips and Potpourri. We're going to be getting into the topic today of small lock styles and tension and how it can affect you adversely, or conversely on the other side, how you can be in a better position if you watch out for the amount of tension and you become aware of many of the things that create excess tension on your hair. Before I dig into that, I want to mention the Righteous Hair course. Many of you are still signing up for that. Please know that right now there are over 50 videos and there are tons more going. I have over 20 videos in my phone that I haven't been able to upload, and there's so much more content because there's so much in my head about knotted locks. You all already know there's so much in my head as it relates to Sisterlocks / Microlocks. And so it's going to take time, but right now you're getting more than the value, because anything that I upload into that course, unless I change to a level 2, right now, everything that you're getting in that course is going to be yours to access anytime you want for 3 years. If you are someone who feels like you are a veteran and you have a particular lock style, for example, BJ's Braids is going to be talking to you about an aspect of what she has come up with that can work with hair, and you want to set up an opportunity to come on and discuss and share that, or you want to share videos of what it is that you are really good at or what you feel really good about, please make sure you get in touch with me, 678-438-6442. Your videos, given credit to you, can be published in the course along with an introduction to whatever your method is and links to you. But as well, you can go on the Discord, which I'm encouraging. Many of you are starting to sign up, but I really want you to sign up for Discord, because as we begin to use it more and we begin to build more community and you begin to post your pictures, your videos, your experiences and everything, it's going to be really, 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 really wonderful to have everyone have a place where, or a space where you can feel comfortable, where you can let your hair down, where you can relax, where you can see what other people are doing in an environment that is productive and constructive, okay, and free of any type of gatekeeping or free of the things that really need to be unveiled in this entire lock sphere, whether it's sister locks, whether it's knotted locks, whether it's micro locks, whether it's traditional locks, whether it's any kind of locks, they belong to us all at some point. And so it's important that we all have access. Now, many of you also who have reached out to me have knotted locks, or what you're referring to as knotted locks. Well, they're knotted locks because they have knots in them, and you did not take training, but you have been experienced with it for some time, at least I believe 2 people over 6 months, by way of a couple of hairstylists that are in the area. And you or another person has begun to knot their own hair. We want to hear from you as well. We want to hear from you as well. Okay. Would love to know where it's going on at, what you've been kind of doing, how you like it, and what you have found, because my particular way of knotting and what I have found by doing it different ways, my way is based upon my wisdom and is based upon what works for me in a non-failure proof, a non-failure rate kind of an environment. From the point of finding a fail-proof way to have not made even one mistake. And that makes me feel like I didn't have to make so many mistakes in the beginning. But I'm going to be talking about a lot of different things. You all know you get the real skinny on the course, but I will also be doing the same things that I've also always done on this channel, which is get that mind going, get them dendrites going, get that critical thinking and creative solving and problem solving mind field landscape going, and bring you information that is designed to help you think about your hair, make better decisions, and ultimately be free and fully empowered. Because as you will hear me say, and you've heard me say many of times, in reality, information consciousness belongs to the collective. There's nothing new on this planet. I don't care what it is. There's nothing new that I am talking about. I am a channel and a vessel for information. Everything that has ever been created on this planet, it has been here. It has always been here. So the truth is not anything that we have to chase. The truth is always there. We just eventually open our eyes to the truth. Everyone can eat. There is no reason for us not to share information because everyone has their lane. 10 of us could be up here sharing knotted locks. And for those of you that are out there, the thousands, the hundreds of thousands, and the millions who know, you will pick one person that you resonate with, and that's the person you're going to go with, and nobody could tell you anything under the sun. So there's no need to hoard. There's no need to be greedy. There's enough for everybody. I believe we live in an abundant universe, and that is what has blessed me, and that is what has allowed me to maintain my spiritual tenor and balance, and what allows me to continue to be divinely guided. For those of you who rock with me and resonate with me, y'all know what I'm talking about. Love you. Let's go ahead and talk about this tension, y'all, okay? Now, there's so many things that we do with regard to tension. I want you to look at tension as public enemy number one. It might not be public enemy number one totally according to my ebook, but for the purposes of this conversation, I want you to look at tension as public enemy number one. It is the thing that you want to avoid at all costs. But now tension is stealthy. Tension shows up in different ways, similar to a demonic spirit that wants to come in. It can show itself up as a human being, but in reality, it's just a spirit, right? Okay, or it's just an energy. Tension is like that because it can be right amongst you. You can be encouraging its birth, its renewal, and its maintenance and life perpetuation, meaning you could be doing things to keep it going or keep it active in your life, but not necessarily realizing it because it looks different in every situation. So ask yourself, in what ways is my hair openly and directly experiencing tension? Pause. And in what ways could my hair be experiencing tension and I might not really think that is tension? How might it be masquerading? Ask yourself that. Talk about that tension. Before we get directly into it, the prelude is this. The hair trauma, the previous hair trauma and pulling and tugging and excess tension that you've already experienced is going to magnify what is going to be required of you trying to avoid tension. For example, let's say you've been wearing, I wore box braids. I used to do weaves in college for extra money. Those box braids, I used to make them real tight back then. I wasn't crazy though. I didn't have, my eyes like this, but I do remember going to some African braiders one time that were from Nigeria, and they had 3 women working on my hair, and they finished my entire head in probably less than 3 hours. And literally, I remember my eyes being like this when I left. I had a headache and I couldn't like pull my hair up and touch my hair. It was difficult. If I had continued to do that over and over and over again, I was going to be in trouble. Just like you, if you've been wearing a lot of wigs and you haven't been allowing your hair to get oxygenation and the spiritual energy to flow, and you haven't been getting the vitamin D there, you're going to have a little bit more of a difficult time when it comes to really needing to be vigilant when you're having to try to avoid those same kinds of hair trauma and abuses with small locks. Let's say you're someone who, you know, since the time you were a kid, your hair was always being pulled on, and your mom used to pull your edges back real tight, and then they would pull the baby hair out, and it just be so tight, and it was so beautiful at the time, but it hurt. Even that just hurt me right now, and there was just no stopping sense to the madness. You're going to need to be extra vigilant. It doesn't matter what type of lock you have. They all have the potential to put tension in your hair and to pull it out if you, the person, the wearer, the one that's really in charge, doesn't take back the control and monitor what's going on. Even if you're a do-it-yourselfer, you can be doing it yourself as a sister locker and doing your little retightenings and getting them so tight up here at the scalp because you like the way it feels, and you think, okay, well, it doesn't hurt. It's not hurting. I don't have the same amount of tension I had when I was sitting in the chair, so it's okay. It looks good. Even though you might still be too tight to the scalp, you can do that. I could sit here with my knotted lock, one of my knotted locks. Let me find one that really I'm trying to wait on but needs to be done. And I could be sitting here and I could be pulling it already, putting too much force on it. Y'all can see that's a little imperfection right there. We talk about that in the course. How to avoid them things, okay? How you can definitely avoid them. So let's say that I want to go ahead and I want to do my interlocking or my knot, and I'm pulling hard, and then I exercise extra tension when I'm placing the knot, and then I continue to place the knot in a place, not just the extra tension when I'm adjusting and placing the knot where it needs to be, but the tension that places it too close to the scalp, too close to where I don't have at least almost a 1/4 inch, okay, of movement around. Okay, I could be wanting to, or knowing that I'm going to be wearing my hair down like this because I want less tension around my hair, even though y'all see me kind of do it like this all the time. It's usually pretty lightweight, but I even have to be comfortable. I have to even be careful with that. But let's say, for example, I know I'm going to be wearing it down from now on. I'm focusing on taking the pressure off my edges, and I do a knot here, and I decide to knot it directionally in a way that's going to put a little bit more tension on it, rather than perhaps maybe focusing on knotting it this direction so that it just hangs, and then I know I'm not going to be pulling it back, but it's going to be sitting like so. So there's so many different things that you can be doing that can be creating extra tension. The interlocking, which goes too tight to the scalp, the movement of the hair. Traditionally and most commonly, when you want to have no tension on your hair, you just need to leave it alone. Let it fall the way it falls very naturally. Leave it alone. Okay? That is why a lot of men that have locked hairstyles, beautiful women of color, beautiful women of the African diaspora, they have heads full of hair. They don't have these fixations with playing in the hair, which is also a form of tension. It doesn't have to be being pulled like this to be tension. Tension is created by friction. Okay, matter of fact, while I pause the video, let's get the actual definition of tension. Synonyms: pressure, strain, stress, constriction, force, rigidity, stiffness, stretching, tenseness, tensity, astriction. The definition: the act of stretching or straining, or of being stretched or strained. Okay, intense. Okay, so even when I'm pulling on my hair, okay, that's creating tension. But there's so many other things that you can be doing besides just leaving it alone. Many of you are doing them ritualistically. You're pulling your hair up on a regular basis and you're pulling it tight. Okay, you can get away with this every now and then, but you can't get away with it every day. Many of you may be getting your hair styled. We love those beautiful styles, and so many of you are corn rolling the hair back, okay, in an effort to look like a diva, and it's doing a job on you. Y'all know I love to do these curls. And by the way, I hope to be able to share with you something new that will allow you to have gorgeous curls. All right, but let's say I'm doing this and I'm very careful, but I'm going to show you an even better way to ensure that you're not putting stress on your hair. When I do my spirals, my little curls, and I'm probably going to do some tomorrow because I want some action. I want some beauty, some additional bouncy feminine energy. Okay, but the reality is I'm pulling down on the lock, right? Ideally, and when I'm really careful, I will consciously use less pressure. But if you really were doing styles like this and you really wanted to be careful, you'd have somebody hold this part of your hair, or you'd find a way to secure this so that you were not doing any pulling on that part at all. And for sure, when you get ready to take them out, you would try to use one hand to hold the base while you pull this out. The same would be true if you're doing your braiding and banding. I used to talk about this in the videos. There's no reason. You can do this so loosely, about 2 inches from, and then you can begin to braid, and then where there's almost no pressure, you're going to, instead of pull out, you're going to push in, and then you're going to begin to put that extra bit of, just a little bit of pull, just a little bit of constriction there to get that plait good and tight. But even the tension down the lock, you have to be aware of if this is something that you're doing every day. But just in general, these are some of the very simple ways that we create tension unnecessarily. One of the most common ways, beautiful divas and sister lockers, that we create tension is when we lay down and go to sleep. I have to be so careful, especially because my hair is long, even if I decide to cover it in a satin cap or not. If you are a side sleeper, you are stressing and creating tension and friction along the edges, no matter what side you sleep on, okay? If you sleep this way, same thing. When you lay on your back, your edges are protected, but then you have to be concerned about the back part of your hair. I'd rather be concerned about the back than my edges. But when I say it takes a very vigilant approach to be mindful of what kinds of things can create tension. For those of you that have knotted locks and are making mistakes because of either some aspect, some rigidity in your thinking or someone else's thinking, or an inability to know everything you need to know or be able to see things from different angles, some of the worst tension that you can create that does not happen with sister locks but happens with knotted locks is when you make mistakes with your knotting and you try to back out of those knots, or you try to take them out, in other words, or you try to rehab them and fix them. You are creating excessive tension or twisting of the hair or doing other things that can call into question the overall health of your strand, which is why it is so damn important to know when you are placing that knot that you're going to get it right every time, and not to be playing tic-tac-toe or some randomness or some type of guesswork. You need to be able to get that thing right every time, and you need to train yourself and focus until either you have a method that works 100% with a 0% fail rate, or you take the Righteous Hair class and let me show you my method so that you can have a 100% no fail rate. Because the pulling and tugging, the lock that I lost in here that I demonstrate in the video was a lock. And y'all know, for the duration of time that I've had sister locks, I never lost a lock. Never in 14 years. As much as y'all hear me rant about sister locks, and I still feel the same way I always felt. And I don't mind that I lost a knotted lock or two, and then I rehabbed 3 or 4, and then I did some other things, because the divine was preparing me and putting every problem or potentiality in my path as a studier, as a scientist, as a problem solver, as a creative solution. I guess you could say someone that just goes after looking at creative solutions and analyzing things, putting everything in my path the entire time, readying me for something like Righteous Hair, which I had no idea was coming on my path until just a couple of weeks ago, when I was divinely led and many things were revealed to me, and many of you reached out to me with certain things. I was ready. I was ready to follow the divine decree and to do what it was that I came here to do on this planet. Part of what I came here to do on this planet, which is free people. Free your mind, free your mind, free your mind. And in this case, free your hair, free your hair. But y'all know I'm all about freeing that mind. You can go over to my Butterfly Transformations channel, which is now going to be called Spiritually Initiated and Crowned. Many of you out there are spiritually initiated and crowned. And if you haven't gotten your crown and glory now, it's on the way. So you need support over there in the ranks with the rest of us spiritual warriors. Come on over. Anyway, it's very important that you understand that a lot of the very seemingly insignificant things that you do in styling and pulling your hair up and putting your shower caps on and keeping your hair from being caught up in your clothing and things like that creates pulling, creates strain, creates tension. The retightenings that are too tight or too frequent, they create tension. When you are using even oils on your hair, you need to go through very gently so that you're not creating tension. All of this takes time and the presence of mind to be fully conscious and mindful whenever your hands touch your hair. Okay, even when you're doing this sort of thing here, and you're going through and you're just feeling on your hair like I told you, or maybe you're shaking lint out and you're seeing all those lint particles, but you get stuck moving your hand through there and you hear a couple of strands pop, like you heard that pop, right? Like you can't afford that, because over time that's a hair. And let's say you have a small parting. Let's say your parting is like, I don't know, you have very thin hair. Let's say it's 1/8 of an inch, or maybe it's, 1/4 of an inch. That's really small. And if you have low density hair, which is the amount of hair per square inch, you can imagine a few, 2, 3, 4 strands, in a month, and then another ones. And then let's say your hair is experiencing stress and your growth cycle is delayed and you're not getting those hairs replenished, you could be in trouble real quick. So watch out for the tension. Okay, go on and sign up for that Righteous Hair class while it is still at the introductory rate. I love you guys. Have a beautiful day. Put your comments and things in the commentary. When you see this video, the giveaway is going to be Thursday. So anybody that puts the information in the comment section that you were asked to put in there from the Righteous Hair release video a couple of days ago is going to be eligible for the giveaway. You're going to hear the information by watching the video. It's towards the end of the video, FYI. Also, please go and sign up for the Discord. The invite is in the description. It will also be pinned in the comments as of today. Click on the Discord link so that you can be invited into the I Am Melanin Magic Discord, where you can share, where you can post your own videos, where you can be a part of a community of people across all Loc names, across all diasporas, if that's anything that makes sense, but across all platforms who want to learn. Those of you who are generous and want to share, many of you locticians who want to share, who are OGs who've been at this for a long time and have so much to share and say. We want to know what you have to say. We respect your advice. We would love to see you show up. If you're locticians and you want us to know where you're located and who you can serve and how you can serve them, we want to see you on Discord. If you want to give feedback about locticians, those of you who want to give constructive and formative feedback that can assist people in making choices but does not malign anyone, that is also welcome too. I love all of you all, and I will see you soon. Albie says it's time to go.